Hi guys, welcome to WEBoLOGY, Learn for Good. I'm Aakash Biswas and let's get started with HTML. In this video, we're going to learn what are elements and tags because HTML is based on elements and tags. Now, I'll do a quick recap on HTML. Well, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and as I've said it in the first video itself, is that HTML is not a programming language, it's a markup language, and it is used to structure a web page or a website. And if you haven't seen the first video, I recommend you to have a look at that. You can find the link in the description below. And also, why I emphasize so much on HTML being not being a programming language is because I've seen a lot of tutorials referring to HTML being a programming language. Even on YouTube itself, there's a very famous video course on HTML which teaches HTML, and they also refer to HTML being a programming language, which is wrong. HTML is a markup language. And if someone tells you that he or she is learning programming and they are using HTML, well, tell the boss, you're wrong. HTML is not a programming language, it's a markup language. That's it. And what are the other things we are going to learn? We are going to learn how to edit a web page using elements and tags. We are going to basically code. So we're going to code our very first web page, and we're going to learn how to save because it's very important to know how to save a web page. And we're going to look at two very fundamental elements used extensively in HTML, which are the paragraph element and the heading element. Well, elements are the building blocks of an HTML document. A browser interprets an HTML document on the basis of the elements that are added in the document. The elements provides instructions to a web browser. It specifies how to display the HTML document. So, tags are the abbreviation of the element name. So, for example, we have P for the paragraph element or H1 for the heading element. An element name comes within the opening angular bracket and the closing angular bracket. Then comes the content that will be displayed on the browser, followed by again we have to close every tag that we open. So in order to do that, we have to put a opening angular bracket followed by a forward slash, then the name of
Okay
the
guys,
tag,
let's
followed
get
by
started
closing
with
angular
HTML
bracket.
coding. So in order to do HTML coding, we'll need two software which are easily available on your computer system, whether you're a Windows user or Mac user. So if you're a Windows user, you can use a Notepad to write the HTML code. So very simple and basic text editor. And if you're a Mac user, you can use TextWrangler, which is also a very good text editor. And the other software you need is a browser to see the output and display the web page. So let's go ahead. As you can see, I have a Notepad open on my desktop. As I'm a Windows user, I'll just use Notepad. And let's get started in creating our very first web page from scratch. So the first HTML element that you need to type in is the doc type element, and later videos, a couple of videos, we are going to see the role and function of the doc type element. But for now, just go ahead and type the way it's written, doc type, in your HTML code. The head after that comes the HTML element followed by the head element. So a little word about the head element. So anything between the head element won't be displayed on the browser, in the sense that the main canvas area of the browser where you actually see the content, where you see text, images, tables, data, anything. Anything that you put inside the head element won't be directly shown on the browser. So the head element is used to display data like the title of the web page, metadata of a website, scripts, JavaScript of a website, put CSS code, etc. So we'll go ahead and add a title to our web page using the title element. So the title element is used to add a title to the web page. So I'll go ahead and put my first web page as a title of the web page. So you can put any title you want. It does not matter. Put your name, put your girlfriend's name, put your pet's name. Just go ahead and do it. and then right after that go ahead and close it, close the head element, and after that comes the body element. So inside the body element is where the text, data, images, content is displayed. Yes, content that you see on a browser is put inside the body element to be displayed on the browser. So as I said, in this tutorial we are going to look at two basic elements, basic fundamental elements, which are the paragraph element and the heading elements, which are used extensively in HTML coding. So I'll go ahead and use the paragraph element p tag and put a piece of text. So just go ahead and put welcome to WEBoLOGY. Go ahead and close the p tag, and right after that I'll put the closing body element followed by the closing HTML element. So the entire, as you can see, the entire HTML code is contained within the opening HTML element and the closing HTML element. So this is very important to put the opening HTML element and the closing HTML element. Now the other important aspect of learning web designing is to save. So you need to make sure that you save in the correct format. If you save it in the wrong format, well, your browser, your web page won't be displayed. So open file and go to save as, and here you have the option of saving wherever you want. For my convenience, I've created a folder called website on the desktop, and I'll be saving my document there. So in the file name, I can put any file I want, any name I want for the file. So I'll just go to web page.html. So this is very important. The way you save the HTML document, the correct extension. So if you put a dot here, as you can see, a tiny little dot right after the HTML, the name of your HTML document, and there is no space. So don't put a space before or after the dot, followed by the extension as HTML or HTM. Okay, and save as type. You have to change it to all files. Go ahead and save. Now I'll just minimize this and open the folder, and I'll double click on the web page document, and voila, you have it. Our very first web page we have created from scratch. So as you can see here, it's the title of the web page followed by the content that we have put, piece of text as welcome to WEBoLOGY. Now I'll just minimize this and modify our HTML code so that I can show you uh, the heading element and how do we use the heading element. So a little word on the heading elements. Well, there are six types of heading elements, starting with H1, because and going falling down to H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So there are six levels of headings in HTML, and H1 is the biggest heading in terms of font size, and it is used by search engines to display search results. And headings are used in order to put a heading for a particular paragraph that is there on your blog or your website, or for a content that you're going to show upfront to your visitors on your website. So we are going to put six different headings, and we're going to see what's the output. So go ahead and type H1. So as you can see, I just put to a very simple example. You can go ahead and put any example you want. It really does not matter, but make sure that every tag that you open should be closed. So as you can see, I have opened every tag and closed every tag, and it should be in this order, in the sense that H2 cannot come before H1 or H3 before H1 or H2. So if you go to use headings and go to apply different headings to different content or different data that you want to display, it has to be in the correct format. So H1 is the first heading that you have to use, followed by H2, H3, H4, H5, and 6. So I'll just go ahead and save the HTML document, and I'll open the browser and just go refresh, and voila, I've modified the our HTML code. So the previous text that was there, that's no more there because I've deleted that. And in place of that, I've used the H1 element. So here, H1 element, as you can see, is the biggest in font size, followed by H2, then H3, H4, H5, and H6. Well, that's it for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed learning what are elements, what are tags. You have a better idea now of what are elements and tags and how you can create a very first web page from scratch. And make sure you leave your comments, do comment, like, and share this video. And yeah, that's it. Stay tuned for more.